Hello, one and all, and welcome to another episode of Baggers Chat. My name is Mitch Pattinson, and as always, we are joined by Ethan Daffy. And today we are previewing our round 11 clash, Carlton v GWS, Saturday, 24th of May at Marvel Stadium. We've had a few days to, I guess, reset Daffy Boy after the Swans clash. I wouldn't say that it's gotten any better looking back at it, because I feel like we're just over it, like having a few days and back on the episode and looking forward to this game this week. I'm walking into this game not caring because I want us to win, but no expectations. I've had enough of like draining my week, making sure that I'm like, finding ways that we can get the job done.
Yep.
I'm just at the point in time where I just do not want to even have any expectations and just hope for a win. But first things first, mate, how are you?
No, I'm good. I'm good, yeah. No, you're spot on in terms of heading into this game. Of course, I think it's a bit of a line in the sand moment of the season. I think the curtains start to slowly close if we lose this game. And I think it's similar for the Giants. I know they're a game ahead of us, but I think if they drop this, it's a bit of an 8-pointer. We go above them. If they win that, they get a game ahead of us. Probably separates the top 8 again. It's just, come on, man. The issue is right now, the frustrating thing is, I don't even think we are being beaten by other teams. We are being beaten by ourselves. With 3 quarters, like we had at some point in the first quarter last week, we had 20 inside 50s to 4. We were winning. So we should have been up 4 goals a quarter time. So that is you can look at it as a positive. We're in the games. We've got it where we want it. The issue is the massive red flag is that we can't finish it off. So it's just a matter of fixing that. We've got to just fix that. And we both spoke about it off air. I think it's time to, not fully unleash the shackles and break them, but gee whiz, we need to start just attacking, being that kind of non-stop pressure team, putting pressure on the other team to defend inside 50, not halfway up the ground, slowing it down, being happy with our defenders just switching, getting their touches up. Let's hit them hard. They're one of those teams as well, that team to attack, and they haven't been. They speak about this Orange and Army, and they just haven't been this season, have they? They just haven't had that. And I know they can still do that and have the ability to do so. So I think the best way to counter their attack is actually attacking our way. If the ball's deep inside their 50, it's harder to score goals. I'm not saying to slam balls and just, do the good old Carlton kick and hope. But it's got to start turning to a more attacking side. I think our back 6 is set. I think they know how to defend the ground. So it's just a matter of learning how to fucking score, Patto. It's annoying me.
Yeah, well, we spoke about it before we pressed a record of the episode, and I told you about it, about how I'm kind of at a point in time where I'm going back to last year's game, round 15, Carlton versus Geelong, and seeing that game and the amount of like the difference that we have from that game to now and the way that we're playing. Like, I was more looking at that, like purely looking at the way that we move the footy. Because that was the main concern out of last week. I'm like, we don't find a way to move the footy.
Yeah.
And the main thing I was looking at is the way that we set up when we get the footy. It's like we don't have any options. Like, we don't have an avenue to goal.
Yeah, it's always wide.
It's always wide. It's never through the corridor. And we like the short 50 kicks, which is awesome. But there's no like clear avenue that the supporters and the people that are watching on the TV can see that, well, that's the next kick. Like, I'm even looking back to the 2023 semi-final when Wienering kicked it into Hollands. As soon as that kick to Hollands, you knew the dock was out. And if you were watching at the game, which we both were, we saw Akers. We don't have that. Like, we have 2 defensive wingers at the moment. We are so defensive, extremely defensive. And I don't know if that's like, I don't know if it's trying to, I know that we're not trying to save the game, but it's at a point in time where I would rather lose by 40 and try and win the game.
Yeah.
Like we are at a point in time where it's just too we're too defensive at the moment, and we need to find a way to try and pull the shoulders back and find a
Yeah.
way to attack.
Yeah, I think a big issue on the weekend was our midfielders' ball use. I thought we were too handball happy. I know Chera and Hewitt were getting their hands on the ball, but particularly I thought George, like he had he was okay, but he was just handballing too much like he used to.
Yeah.
There was some moments in the center clearance, especially the turnover in the last quarter. I think it was Chera's handball that ended up in Warner's hands. That's a kick. Kick it. Like you got 6-on-6 in the forward line. Kick it. That's the time to kind of blaze away, isn't it? That is kind of the time to get it in. And I get it. You don't want to blaze away. You want to get that nice clean. It's not always going to be clean. Sydney were in the game in the last quarter, Patto. They're doing the exact same thing. They're going, we've got to win this game. We've got to attack. We've got to score.
Yeah.
Who came out on top? We were too busy handballing. We're too happy. We're too happy to just settle for having the ball in our hands. Try to do something with it. That's my challenge this week. That is my challenge this week because we know we could do it. Look at the Geelong game. I said it's the biggest outlier of 2025. What were we doing in that game? What were we doing? Attacking. Chaos. Well, if I can see that this weekend, then I'll go, okay, then we can head into the second half of the year with a bit of something. Because the Giants are a good team. It's just frustrating. Because last week we should have lost that game.
Yeah.
It was the most winnable game one of the most winnable games this season. It was in our position, in our hands, and we just let it slip.
Yeah. And I'm at a point in time where I'm just looking at purely at like a shed of light on the season. And I feel like the only way that we can do that is if we start attacking. Like we've been saying how great our defense have been.
Yeah, it's great.
Every single week, which is great.
Yeah, for sure.
But we need to start scoring. That has to be, that's a big issue at the moment. And I don't know if it's like maybe we have too many tools now with Wiedering, Haynes, Silvani, McGovern, that we don't have any run off the halfback. And that means that our defense is really great, but we don't have any rebound. And that's one of our one words, like rebounding off the defensive 50 through Sard. Through like a guy like Ollie Hollands as well, who's been transitioned into the back line. And last year we saw it with Newman as well. We saw what he was doing, and obviously he's not out there now. But Carroll as well. Yeah. So
also, and also Gov. He's a
Gov,
rebound. He's a rebound kicker. So yeah.
It's a point in time where we just need to find a bit of shed of light. But Daf boy, before we do touch on the game, the last time that we did did an episode was obviously Friday night when we uploaded it on Saturday morning, and I'm sure I'd be very surprised if everyone wasn't aware of the news about Adam Selwood passing away on Saturday morning. And it's been all through the world of football. And it's such a, I feel like we just wanted to touch on it very quickly because obviously we are now in a bit of we are now in the public form of, we actually now come on every single week, twice a week to do an episode. And it's real, over the weekend, it's really gotten to me in terms of how important it is to come out and actually speak about it. I've seen a few platforms already actually speak about it, but I felt like we kind of chose to do this today because I feel like it is really important to talk about it. But before I do throw it to you, I just thought I would say very quickly, I'm sending my condolences to the Selwood family. It is obviously with Troy passing away in 3 months earlier, his twin brother, it's an absolute, it is so unfortunate. It's an absolute tragedy that's happened in the football world. But I just wanted to send my condolences to the family. And more importantly, I feel like there has to be some sort of mental health round in the AFL heading on from 2026 onwards. There has to be more awareness about it because I think there's been great awarenesses each round. Like the Spuds game is great, but I think there has to be a men's mental health round for the AFL. One of the rounds every game because it needs to be spoken about more. And I know, I'm sure you go through your mental health problems like I do it as well, but it's more about speaking about it. And I feel like something that I need to change as well is trying to be more I'm there for my mates, of course, but actually touching in with them and actually speaking about it and saying, how are you, mate? how's your mental health going? Like, is everything okay? But
Mm-hmm.
before I throw it to you, I just thought I'd very quickly mention that and like more. I mean, obviously we do speak a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
it's so unfortunate. It's a topic that is really touchy, but it needs to change. So I need to change
Yep.
my attitude towards and be like, oh yeah, it's a bit of an uncomfortable situation. It shouldn't be
No,
uncomfortable.
it shouldn't be.
It
Yeah.
should be like something that we should speak about comfortably. But I'll throw it to you, mate. Just a quick word for Selwood and his family.
Yeah, absolutely tragic. Yeah, Saturday was. You could kind of feel it. I was at the Collingwood Adelaide game, and the news kind of dropped about midday, and obviously, it was all the kind of media, and you could tell it just hit the media really hard, and yeah, it's tragic, and I wish the family all the best, and considering they were so close together.
Yeah,
Both of them passing away is you just you don't wish it on anyone's family. And like you said, if there's anyone watching and they're struggling, we're here.
100%.
Your family's there, your friends are there. Reach out to if you're feeling crap, if they're not reaching out to you, just say to them, I'm not feeling great, or can I have a chat, or can I have a call, or even just a message sometimes. Just because then they might not know you're going through something, and they might be going through something. So yeah, make sure to it's bigger than football. It is. Definitely gave me perspective after Friday when that news dropped that all of our concerns are on a football game, and of course it's a big part of our life, but it's not as big as a passing of a family member, or specifically the Selwood family. So yeah, my best wishes go to them, and they'll be going through a tough time. And yeah, reach out anyone who's listening right now. We're here. Shoot us in the DMs, whether it's even our personal accounts. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I agree. I think there should be I think it almost should be a Spuds round headlined by the Spuds
Yeah,
game on the Thursday night. I think there should be a Spuds round for mental health. And, we have all these other rounds, but I think this one almost trumps them all, and is so important, especially in this day and age. I feel like we're seeing so many suicides that, need to be prevented.
yes.
So yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, extremely well said, Dave Boy. But yeah, I know that we will probably now try and transition more
Yep.
towards the game. But yeah, just I thought I'd say like
Mm.
kind of off the back of what you said to everyone who's out there who's actually
Yep.
watching this episode. Like our personal accounts are in our
Mm.
like the bio of Baggers Chat for a reason. Where if you do need to actually reach out for a personal point of view or even
Mm.
just someone to talk to, we are 110% here. Like we
Yep.
100% like I mean I know that we aren't on our phones a hell of a lot, but we do try and reach out, like even in the messages of the video,
Yeah.
like we try and respond to every single comment that comes our way, and that is also the exact same for messages. So if you want to send us a message on Baggage Chat, Duff or I will respond. But also,
Yep.
if you want to send us a personal message, please do, because we are 100% here. But as Duff said, if you need to chat with anyone, please try and reach out to family or
Mm.
friends. But also just know that Duff and I are 110% here, because I know that Carlton are shit at the moment. But as Duff said, it is so much bigger
Yep.
right now with like stuff like this is so much bigger than football, and it's given me
Mm.
a huge perspective.
Yep.
I like walked into work on Saturday morning and be like, oh, Carlton and shit. But then I found out the news. I'm like,
Mm.
fuck.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
like it's really it's had an impact. Like I know that I'm really lucky, and I'm sure you would be the exact same. I'm really lucky that we've gotten on top of our mental health. But it's
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
like it's kind of at a point now where it's given me a huge perspective, and I don't know
Mm.
one of my closest mates. I don't know if he's 100% right.
Yeah.
So it's really changed my perspective about it. So
Mm.
I'm glad that we very quickly touched on that, Deaf Boy, before we swing into to the Carlton v Giants game, mate. But
Yep.
the first things, I mean, the first thing that we'll touch on is obviously the injury list, and there are a few players that are expected to be back, Deaf Boy, and we're expecting Lockie Fogarty to be back from a hamstring injury, which is good to see. Blake Acres as well after his shoulder injury. That's a good thing to see as well about Akers returning.
Yeah.
Though
Massive.
those two players are pretty much a
Yeah.
good chance to come back. We know
Yep.
that Zach Williams was 1 week
Yep.
last week and due to be back this week, but I know that we were speaking off air, potentially saying that we should do for Zach Williams is kind of manage him
Mm.
until the bye, because the bye is obviously next week, and then maybe look to bring him back in for the Dons the week after. But Daffy Boy, we'll swing straight into the ins and outs. Now, I want you to very quickly touch on the injury list and injury update if you want to. I guess regarding a few players, and more specifically about Zach Williams, and if you think he could play this week if he is available. But then swinging your ins and outs, because now there are a few players now that really should be on the chopping board.
Yeah,
After last week.
yeah,
What are your thoughts?
yeah. I've got 4 changes to this team, but in terms of the injury list, yeah, it'll be really important to get Fogarty, Akers, and TDK back in the team. I
Oh
think
yeah,
I think
Tom. Yeah,
I think I think the big Tommy DeConning was a big hole last week. I'm not saying it lost us the game, but I got a feeling he would have just dragged us over the line on the weekend. It was one of those games, a little bit wet, a little bit damp
yeah,
on
yeah.
foot. He likes those games. He kicks a couple goals in those games. He shoves it on the boot. He's one of those types of players. So, and he would have been a 10 times better matchup for
Grundy. Yeah,
for Grundy. Yes, for some reason his name always never pops in my head. It annoys me. I always call him Brody. I always forget his last name.
Brody.
Um, but yeah, I'd imagine with Williams, you take the safe approach. He's had issues with his calf. Is he needed this week? Well, if he's fit, it'd be nice because you could
Yeah,
make it a little bit easier to drop other players. But yeah, for me, it's a break he probably needs. I'll go straight into my selections, Patto. I've just changed it late. I have just changed it late because I forgot about Big Mark Pitternet in the team. So I completely forgot he was in the team. Patto, that's how bad he played on the weekend. No, my outs for this weekend. Sauce injured with the groin. He is just banged up. I think he just needs a couple of weeks off.
yeah.
Honestly, I just it's getting ridiculous. I just think he needs a couple of weeks off. Hopefully,
Yeah.
he's back for Essendon. Yeah, so wishing him all the best. Sauce out. Jordan Boyd, I think he was getting banged getting like hit from pillar to post on the weekend. He comes on and he was just getting smashed. Like, and one thing on that, seriously, when he got elbowed, where were we?
Yeah, I know.
I
I
know the
do.
game's done, but
Yeah, nothing.
sorry,
Nothing.
this is 2021 shit.
Yeah.
When people went flying the flag for teammates,
Mm.
he just so McInerney hits him. Amadi goes in with his elbow, right, and he wanted to hurt him.
Mm.
So you just gonna let him get away with that? You really gonna let him get away with that? And I don't mean you're gonna go fucking throw punches, but go up to him and go, come on, like what's that about? What's that about? Don't be hitting my teammate like that. That's not great from my end. I wasn't happy with it at the ground. I was very confused as to why it was like no one saw it. I know it was in play, but the guy's knocked out on the ground. You probably know why he got knocked out on the ground because the guy bumped him. But anyway, that's another topic for another day, Pato. And I want to see some flying of the flag this weekend. I want to see a bit of CUNT heading
Yeah.
into this Giants game
We've been
because I
saying it
know,
every week though, haven't we?
yeah. And when we win games, we do.
Yeah.
That's the frustrating thing. So, my third player that he will be dropped out of this team, Jesse Motlop. Um, He's not the scapegoat. People go, oh, but you just make him the scapegoat. I don't think he was the reason why we lost on the weekend. I just thought our ball movement and just as a team was not good enough. But he was not good enough. It's not just this weekend. He just hasn't been up to it for the last few weeks. And I think it's almost doing him a favour, putting him in the twos. Like if I was out of form, stop picking me. Stop picking me. Let me fucking have a few goals in the twos and get my hands on it. That's what he needs. He needs hands on the ball. So yeah, he'll be dropped out of my side. And my last omission, it was going to be Evans until I realised Mark Pitternet was still on my team. So Evans will stay in for this weekend, and Mark Pitternet will be dropped out of the side. I'll go with my ins: Lockie Fogarty, Blake Acres, Tom DeConing, and Sam Doherty
Nice.
will be in my team. I like those ins. I really like them. And I will be going with Jackson Binns as the sub. I think he's good enough to be in the starting 22. But I just want to see the different dynamic with Doc in the team. He's got his hands on the ball. He's been good behind the ball in the twos. Does he play back there? I'm not sure, but I'm intrigued to see how this kind of selection changes the team.
Daffy Boy, I know that we think alike, but ins and outs and sub are identical.
Wow.
Mine's
Wait.
the
Yep.
exact same.
Yep.
Exact same. And that's my question. So we both think that it's, well, not clear, but
Mm.
we both, to the audience, we don't share
No. No.
our ins and outs and the sub before the episode because we want to try and get our raw reaction. Because I might make a big omission or you might make a big
Yep.
omission, and then we talk about it on the spot.
Mm.
But we've now made the exact same changes and the sub. So my question is, do you think that these are quite clear ins? Because I think one of the big names in the ins is Sam Doherty.
Yeah.
And I think when you said about Jesse Motlop, about him going back to the VFL and trying to get back his form, that's the exact same thing
Yes.
that we said about Sam Doherty, and he needs it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Motlop would. Like we said it the exact same thing about Doherty. If you're sending me out there and I'm not in form, why am I in the spotlight of AFL footy?
Yeah.
Knowing, like, probably in the media as well, saying this guy is past it, or like Motlop
Yep.
saying this guy isn't up to it.
Mm.
Why don't you go back into the VFL? You know how detrimental it is when you go back into the reserves, work on your craft,
Yep.
then come back into the senior side. And Doherty has been good in the VFL,
Yes.
and I know it's a second.
And he should be. And he
Yeah.
should be. Yep.
Exactly, like he should be dominant. I mean, I would hope that he would be dominating in the VFL.
Yeah.
But now that he has a bit of that confidence of, okay, I've dominated a game 2 weeks in a row,
Mm.
I can now come back in with a little bit of confidence. I'm not saying he'll be the Doc of old,
Yeah, of course.
but he could be back to now. I said to you before we press record, and I feel like if we were to bring in Doherty, it just comforts me a little bit.
Yeah, I get you.
And I don't know what it is, and I don't know why,
Yep.
but when I've got the lineup in front of me of the best, like of the 23 this week, if this is the team that we go in with, seeing Doc there on the wing,
Yes.
I like it. I
almost think we should have brought him in. I don't mind holding him off for another week in the Swans game, but I would have brought him in for Blake Aikens.
Yeah, you said that.
I think they're both experienced heads, and I think we had Cooper Lord and Bin starting on the wings. Nothing to do with them, but they're young guys.
Yeah, exactly right.
And that's why the importance of Akers coming in is huge as well. Because they're experienced heads, and he's a winger who runs both ways. Like he's you see him deep inside 50 in the goal square, and then next minute he's taking a mark at half forward. So it's crucial. I'll let you continue. Sorry.
No. I'm done. But the question before I throw it to you back, throw it back to you is also about Cottrell as well, and that role is being missed quite a lot, and maybe that's something that Doherty could come in to play that role, I guess. But I'll throw to you now. What, like Sam Doherty coming in, we both have him in. If he was to be featured on Saturday, well, I almost say morning because it's 12:30. It's so early.
Yeah. Oh.
What role do you want him to play?
Well, based on my selections, I think he's a part of the wing rotation.
Yeah.
But I also don't mind him sitting behind the ball because he can get his hands on it, and we know he can defend. So. We know they have dangerous small forwards. Can he take one of them? You know what I mean? Like, can he take one of them out of the game? I don't know. And we've spoken about it. He can play the half forward kind of role where he's playing that high half forward, getting around the stoppage. And also, if you're playing that high half forward role, you're not necessarily matching up on a midfielder. So it might be a little bit of an easier matchup. He might be on a Whitfield. He might be on a I don't know who, but. We just got to find ways to get him an easy ball, I think, because I know his meters gained when he is playing well are very high, and we've both said it with this ball movement. I know he is a bit of a hack kick sometimes, and I don't want a hack kick, but if we are at half back and he's coming off half back, streaming off half back, I want him driving an inside 50 near the hot spot. You got Harry, you got Charlie. They've got to find a way to lead into that spot, take the fucking mark. And they were both good on the weekend. And they both kicked 3 goals off pretty good opportunities. I thought there was a few good lead ups and, we just need more of it. That's all we need.
Do you think so? I mean, I completely agree as well. Completely agree. And I think the hack kick when you said that, I
Yeah.
completely agree, and it made me think of it. Do you think it's a similar situation with Sam Walsh, with what he's going through, where he gets under pressure, he is forced to hack kick it? We
Mm,
then criticize Walsh, saying, "Why the fuck are you hack kicking it? You're not. It's not the
yeah.
Sam Walsh that we used to know." But I feel like the way that we're using Sam Walsh, and on the weekend,
Yeah.
the past
Yeah.
2 weeks, he's been used a little bit more like on
Yeah.
the
He's
wing
got
and a little
time.
bit
He's
more
got
free.
time.
Got time. Literally, we said it in the Saints game. I think you said it in the
Mm,
review, how he took on those plays. That's confidence. And it's
yes.
because he had time to do it.
Mm,
But like obviously on the weekend we had
yeah.
Silvani come off, but Lord was playing on the wing and Walsh was playing in the middle. Why is that?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure why we're not trusting Lord to take those minutes.
I can't
I'm
believe
not
it.
really sure. Well, we got the Rising Star, which was
Yeah,
announced
shout out.
yesterday.
Yep.
Um, I thought he played very well on the weekend, but yeah, yeah,
It's a
I'm
weird
not.
one.
I understand in terms of because they're just personnel's very good in there, but then also you're actually eliminating a weapon. Like if they have Goulden in the team, they're not chucking him in the guts.
No.
He's playing like they might have to sometimes,
Yeah.
and I'm fine with Walsh going in there. But I'd rather have him start the game with a bit of confidence. Then he can roll in the middle and then have that confidence that he had from getting his hands on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was a very questionable positioning change. I don't know why you would change something that's working. It's not like
Mm.
George or Chera weren't playing. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like if someone was out, Cripps, Chera, Walsh,
Of course.
Hewitt, of course you chuck him in there. But even then, you give Lord more minutes. You give Elijah Hollins maybe more minutes through the guts. I don't know. You might put someone else through there. I don't really care who's in there. It might be other wingers. It might be half forwards. It could be fucking Corey Durden for all we know, just to have a run through there. You see teams have just random guys sometimes run through there. So yeah, frustrating decision by the coaches, and that's on the coaches. That was a terrible decision.
Yeah, and that's what like we were literally speaking about it on I think before we press record on the episode, or we may have mentioned it in this episode. That just
Mm.
shows how great my memory is, Daffy boy. But um about how there was Bins
Yeah.
and Lord on the wing. And it's
Mm.
like, hang on, but
Mm.
you've got two inexperienced wingers on the wing,
Yeah.
but you've got Walshy in the middle. So you
Yeah.
can put Walshy on the wing, knowing like kind of playing that Akers role. I know that it's very hard to replace
Yeah. Yeah.
Akers, but at least you can have a gut runner like Walsh, and he's very
Mm.
experienced. He's the vice captain, so you can
Mm.
have him on the wing, kind of leading the way with Bins.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you can have Lord in the middle alongside Chera, Cripps,
Yeah.
and Hewitt.
Yeah. I
I,
don't really. It's like they don't. Do they not trust him? Do they not like? It's almost It's a common topic. Stop playing safe.
yeah, yeah.
Once we play safe, it starts to go bad. It starts to go really, really, really bad. We played safe with the ruck call. Shouldn't have. I know. We were both going, okay, Pitternet, okay, this is the game to come in. I'm starting to think from a perspective, after the game, going, just play Lewis Young in there. But he's a liability. He is a liability,
Mm.
Mark Pitternet. I hate to
Hmm.
say it.
Hmm.
The guy, he's an old school ruckman, and he'd work in an old school crash and bash game. And I know this weekend would be a perfect matchup with Briggs, but the issue is when we defend the ground, we can't defend the ground because we've got one guy who is not quick enough. He is not quick enough. TDK can cover it easy. It's almost to the stage where he's redundant, Patto.
Yep.
He's almost redundant.
I'm at a point in time where I'm looking at the side, and I don't think there is a way that Pitto can come back into this team,
Mm.
like alongside TDK. I
Yeah,
think
no,
TDK,
no way.
and it's
No way.
so, or like I know we were heading into, and I think it was just more because we really had no option because TDK was out, and we were kind of more. It's the delusion, I guess, of oh yeah. Well, we should be fine with we should be fine with Pitto coming in to
Mm.
play a role, and who knows? Like we literally said, imagine if he plays well, that means there could be an opening once again for TDK and Pitto to play well.
Yeah.
Like it just shows to me that it is so important to sign Tom DeConning away, and
Oh, yeah.
it's no disrespect to Pitto. We are
No,
trying to
no.
do this, and I think I look at it more similar to the Hawthorn situation with Lloyd Meek and Ned Reeves. Ned Reeves was the number one ruck a few years ago, and with the whole like the rule changes and the stand rule and the six and like 666 rule, and there's other rules that they mention as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't help a ruckman like Reeves and a ruckman like
Mm,
Pitto. It's something I don't know exactly what it was. You might know before I throw it to you, but it's very unlucky about how
mm.
Pitto and TDK like they won't work now. They can't work together, and
No,
TDK
no.
is suited to this team, and that's why it's very unlucky on Pitto. And I'm hoping we can still have him as a second ruck,
Mm.
but like moving forward, like I'll throw it to you if you know that other rule that they mention about Pitto, like what doesn't I don't even know what I'm saying. It's that rule that they've said about Pitto
Yeah,
about the ruckman
yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
help the ruckman. I don't know exactly what that rule is, but on the other hand as well, Pitto like TDK is so important right now. But where does this leave Pitto right now?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird situation. I think sometimes you're almost forced to play him, I guess, if TDK's out. But like it's like you said with the rule change, I think the rule change, it's something to do with the actual ruck contest. So you don't really see guys jumping on blokes as much. I feel like it's more of a low key. I know TDK gets up there, and it might be the rule
Yeah, what
where
is it?
I don't want to guess and make myself look like an idiot. But yeah, there are rule changes, and I feel like commentary teams have been talking about it for the whole season.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, it's Pitternet, he's a good backup, I guess. Yeah, he's okay. He's an okay backup, but if we want to be winning games consistently, I don't think he's going to be in the team. And it's going to come a time where Hudson O'Keefe probably starts to be the second.
yeah,
I know he's only 21 and he's had issues with his soft tissue, which is annoying. I think he played on the weekend
yes, he did.
in the twos. So
Yeah,
yeah, but I think for now, if TDK is out of the team, I think you just got to roll with Lewis Young and Harry Mackay as the rucks.
yep. I was even thinking that I'm like, we should just edit that whole bit out because I think I mean, I know that I was making it look like an idiot. I was fucking rumbling. I don't even know what I was fucking saying, mate. But I think I think O'Keefe did play. I'm pretty sure I saw him. Yeah. Round eight. I think it was round eight last week for
Yeah.
VFL.
Yep.
Yeah. So he played. So and I completely agree about what you said. And he could be that second ruck now, where
Mm.
he's probably more like the Tom
Yeah.
DeConning
Yeah.
ruckman,
Yep.
and that could also save a bit of salary cut with Pitto as well. And I don't think he would be on a lot, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's more like
He's contracted though, so I'm fairly sure.
yeah,
Uh,
but we could trade him away.
yeah. Yeah.
It's bad the way
There'll
around.
be teams that want him, I guess.
Yeah,
But then also he's nice to have. He's
yeah,
nice
he
to
is.
have.
He
He's
is.
just nice to have there in the backup.
Yeah, spot on. But yeah, we'll now move on straight on to yeah, well, I mean, I don't even need to touch on my ins and outs and sub because they're the exact same. But yeah, we'll move straight on now to the opposition watch, Daffy Boy. To the people who don't know what this is, we go through the back line, midfield, and forward line for the opposition, which is obviously the GWS Giants this week, and we touch on one player for each line. And kind of explain why they could be a bit of a threat come this Saturday midday 12:30 at Marvel Stadium at Daffy Boy. But the back line we'll touch on as we always do first. And we've probably mentioned the Giants back line for a few years now and
Yeah.
how good they are, how I guess how like locked in they are at the moment, how consistent they are every single week and every single year really. But your backline opposition watch for the GWS Giants, Daffy Boy, what have you got? There's a few options.
Yeah, no, I like their back six, but they've been, I think they've been a little bit down. I feel like they're conceding bigger scores than they were last year. I don't know if that's exactly going to reflect the stats wise, but they were better last year, I think, defensively, being able to defend well and also rebound and use the footy really well the other way. But yeah, um, for me, I think it's the two key backs that can kind of do a job on Harry and Charlie. I'm going to go with Jack Buckley. I think, they talk about Sam Taylor as the main guy all the time. Of course he is. But Buckley, I just really like him.
Yeah, he's good.
And for me, they must be a pretty. I think that Taylor, Buckley, Iden three must be pretty good, and Himmelberg to keep Nick Haynes out of that team. Like Haynes was playing VFL last year. Like
Mm.
fuck me. And everyone was questioning, going, "Why are we picking up a VFL player?" That's why we picked up a VFL player,
Yeah,
one of our
exactly right.
best players. So, Jack Buckley for me, really like the way he goes about it. He seems to go to Charlie um, when we do play him. I remember the game against the Giants last year.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he went to Charlie. He's gone to Charlie most times. Taylor goes to Mackay. If he is playing him, play the first game, played the second game, was on Harry in that game. So, yeah, I think those will be the matchups. And then Iden and Himmelberg will just work itself out, whether that we put Young forward or back, whether we bring in a tall forward, I don't know. But maybe we go the two talls and then just go a bit unpredictable. Maybe we do that with Iden and Himmelberg and make them feel a little bit taller, a bit too tall, maybe. I don't know. But that's where we've got to watch our ball use because all four of those guys could take intercept grabs. So even if they are playing on smaller opponents, that might not be great for us because if we're just going long and high, I know we've been calling for them to get the ball inside 50 more, but I'm not saying to just go long and high and just hope. Be a bit more direct. Just get it in lower because then if it does hit the deck, get our smalls to work. Get to work. They went really well in that first game last year against the Giants, the smalls. We had goals from other players. I remember Dirds kicked two or three
yeah, he
in that
did.
game.
Yeah,
It was Matt Kennedy's game. I know he kicked the sealer in that game. He's been playing really well. But, that just shows an example of other guys chipping in. Harry and Charlie had their three last week. I'm still smelling. Harry has been phenomenal. I think he has been phenomenal this season. Seriously, he has been huge, and I think he's almost due for a bag. He's due for a bag, but I think the thing is he's been so good in the guts in the ruck that we can't really take him out of there, so he won't kick
yeah.
a bag. So it's for me, Jack Buckley.
Mm. Yeah, I like it. I'm looking at their back line. Yeah, and also Lee Kalia as well,
He's
who's
not even in the
another
game. Yeah,
like he's another key stock. And last year, like they
yeah,
had Haynes, Taylor, Buckley, Aaliyah, Himmelberg's even classified as a key tall.
yeah, yeah,
Iden can play tall.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. It's weird, isn't it? And also like I was in Geelong a few weeks ago, and it was for Giants Geelong, and they had the
Yes.
VFL league
That was
before.
on your birthday.
Yes, it was. Working on my birthday in Geelong. How good's that? Said no one ever. Um, um, but yeah, I was watching because I was there early as, and I watched the twos, the VFL game, and Aaliyah was playing, and they absolutely killed Geelong, and he was, oh my god, it was just like he was just way too good for that level. I know he won't be at the Giants next season.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clubs. I think it's upwards of 800 to 900k offers. He's really good. So he's a guy I would love at Carlton
Yes.
as the second tall. But now I'm kind of thinking, I think we've kind of got the second tall nailed with Silvani. So
Yes.
I don't know if we should be throwing. I think we should be putting Silvani's offer a little bit higher instead of offering a guy like Aaliyah, that kind of role. I think I'm really happy that we've nailed that down
Yeah.
because that was an issue. That was a big issue. And that's why we brought Haynes in to kind of fill the gap for the next couple of years. But now he's kind of playing more the third. But I think, he can play a second tall role.
And I think more looking at the structure as well. And I know that I was speaking
Yeah.
about like maybe we're a little bit too tall in the back line, but I think having McGovern more as that ball user off the halfback is a great idea. And I think having the three talls as Wiedering, Silvani, Haynes is a great idea. But
Yep.
even if Haynes only plays 2 or 3 years, we've now got Harry O'Farrell in the VFL
Yeah.
who's meant to be a very good defender. And we are hearing right now that
Very good.
is progressing very well. So that could also be an option as well, where
Mm.
Wiedering's at the twilight of his career, Silvani is as well. O'Farrell can then step in, kind of get that experience under those two. Then they retire. O'Farrell comes in as that key back
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
few other youngsters, and then we're fine. So
Mm.
don't even want to think about Wiedering and Silvani
Oh,
in the twilight of their career.
like Weeders, what is he, 28? He's got another 6 years.
Oh yeah,
He'll
yeah,
be
but
35.
yeah,
I'm excited to see when he's older and playing well and O'Farrell comes in and plays alongside him.
yeah.
That'll be really, really good to see. So yeah, Even though times are a bit tricky right now, you can still kind of look at the light, I guess. But I did listen to Kane Corn speak about it yesterday. His top five teams he wouldn't want to be right now for the future, and we were in the top five. And I kind of understand. I kind of understand where he comes from because Harry's getting a year older, Cripps is getting a year older, Charlie's getting a year older, and we haven't made the top four yet. So it's a but I look at it as you got some good youngsters, Lord's coming through, Jagger's coming through.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's I know this is an opposition watch, but yeah, it's a bit of a worrying situation right now. But yeah,
Let me kick 7 on the weekend.
yeah. So hopefully those guys just fucking come along. They just need
Yeah.
to come along quickly.
Who knows? There might be Ethan Daffy next year at the Carlton Football Club as well, mate.
Yeah, maybe mature age. But yeah, no. Also, in terms of the corns, we got Cody Walker coming in.
Yeah, see?
Holy,
Yeah, man.
he's underage TAC, and he was the player of the round on the weekend. Had
Yeah.
31 touches.
Yeah,
Three,
I
three
saw
goals.
that.
He and that there's a whole. I saw an article a few weeks ago how he's in the Richmond Academy. So he's a part of the Richmond Academy. He is not playing for fucking Richmond. He is not. He is a blue bagger. I spoke to Andrew Walker last year at the airport on the way to Adelaide with my mum, and we spoke to him, and he said how much his kids. We weren't even talk, We didn't even think about Cody. We didn't realize how good he was until more recently. We spoke to him, and he goes, "Kids absolutely love Carlton. Like they live, breathe it." So there's your fucking clickbait article. You can shove it up your ass because he will be at Carlton. We'll have to give up 784 picks to get the right points for him, I'd imagine.
Oh,
Because he'll
my
be a top
God.
five pick. I can lock it in. He is a gun. He is an absolute gun, Patto.
It's actually bullshit that now that we actually have a good player coming in the top 5, and now we have to give up fucking everything.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're
buddy,
fucking.
Collingwood got Nick Dacos for fucking a packet of Smith's chips, mate, and a fucking almond latte. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking bullshit at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just praying that we get to see Daffy Boy next year in the but the opposition watch that I'll go for
Praying.
for the Daff line. For the Daff line. Fuck me. I'll be all shambles. For the back line. I was about to say the defenders.
He's falling apart, the Pattinson over here.
God, mate. I mean, I would say that I haven't had a coffee, but I'm having a coffee right now, mate. Fuck, it's bloody 10:54 and I'm acting like it's fucking 3 a.m. I'll go with Lockie Whitfield.
Yeah.
I think and it's more because he's in my sub coach, and I'm very much into my sub coach at the moment, Daffy Boy. And last week I'm pissed about it because Jason Horn Francis got fucking injured.
Yeah.
And he got 22 points, and now I need to trade him out because apparently he's missing 4 weeks. But I'm glad that I've just got a very stable contributor in the back line, and it's Lockie Whitfield. So hopefully he does solid enough that he does well on the super coach, but let's hope that he doesn't dominate the game too much that they potentially get over the line and win the game, the GWS Giants. But yeah, I think Whitfield could be a big contributor. But do you think we could even tag Whitfield? And if so, who do you think you would really put to Whitfield if there is a tagger?
I'm going to put it out there. I woke up this morning because I'm that much of a nuff. I woke up in the first thoughts, Carlton. No tags.
No matchups, even?
No more tagging.
No more matchups, though? Like the George Hewitt?
No more.
Okay.
No more tagging. No more tagging. I heard someone said there was a team who's playing well. I don't know who it was. They're not tagging anymore. They're not the Dogs.
Yeah, like it. Yeah.
They're not tagging.
Yeah, they don't care.
Go win the fucking game.
Yeah.
I understand if it's Dacos or whatever, and you put George on him or whatever. But even then, focus on your own game. I've been saying this. We're losing because we aren't focusing on our scoring, on our ball movement.
Yeah.
We are worried about what the opposition is going to throw at us. The Dogs aren't. They're just rolling up and winning. So, yeah, no, I agree. You still got to have some sort of person on him. Not on him, but just make it like a Fogarty. I'd say
okay.
Fogarty. I thought Will White's really struggled on the weekend. He'd be borderline, I think. He would be. I like him.
Yeah, I like him as well.
But he wasn't very good on the weekend. That's just the cold hard facts. So he could be. I'm not dropping him, but he could be dropped. But yeah, someone who like that maybe have a role and go. Okay, you just roll with him because Whitfield finds the footy. So if you follow him,
You'll get the footy. Yep.
yep, he'll be wherever the footy is. So it might be a little bit easy. He's doing your job for you, in a sense, Patto. But yeah, yeah, you just got to watch out for him because if he has 35 under the roof, you know what happens, Patto.
Fuck. Yeah. And that's something that like we saw a lot last year with the Giants and the
Mm,
Orange Tsunami, and it was off the back of Whitfield and Ash. And
yes,
Lockie Ash has been in
yes.
sensational form this year as well.
Mm,
So even when they shut out Whitfield,
yep.
it then opens up a avenue for Ash. But even if Ash gets shut out, then you've got
Mm,
Whitfield as well. So they've got their backline as a whole. I know that we've said it for years now, but they are probably they're probably the best backline in the competition at the moment, probably alongside probably Adelaide to an extent.
Adelaide.
Adelaide are solid enough, solid enough.
Adelaide.
Like in terms of a structure,
Yeah, yeah.
a defensive structure, but I don't know you can kind of say a few teams at the moment. I mean, even Carlton at the moment
Yeah.
are
Oh,
quite good
yeah. Well, we're
defensively.
top five defensively.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
who is the top team?
No,
They
no
actually come.
idea. No idea. I just saw the list and my eyes went straight to Carlton. That's how much of a nuff I am, Patto.
Buddy, top
I,
five.
could be
West Coast Eagles.
Brisbane maybe.
Yeah, Brisbane. Yep.
I don't really know. I'm not too sure. Hawthorn maybe.
Yeah, Hawthorn all right, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just me with my uneducated thoughts, that boy. And I'm just thinking, yeah, Giants could actually be out there for a
No,
pretty
that they
good
should
defensive.
be. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
get it. Especially on paper.
Yeah.
They're definitely the most solid. I think.
Yeah, exactly right. But Daft Boy, let's now move on to the midfield obsession watch, and we even touched on the back line then about how there are a few options there, but now there are definitely a few options in the midfield for the GWS Giants, even to an extent. Callahan, he has really found some form this year. He's probably right now at the moment the number one midfielder, probably alongside even Tom Green. But I mean, I'm not even too sure. Yo,
He's out.
oh, he is out. Yes, with an injury.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
When that it was on the siren when he went for that mark.
Yes. Is it the was
Yeah,
it
shoulder. He
shoulder? I thought it was shoulder.
dislocated
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because I was watching it, I was going, because when he went down, I went, oh my god,
Oh, so
like
he's out.
not happy, of course. But I'm going, fuck, we're playing him next week. Like seriously, I was going, it was a bit of a stop moment. Going, fuck, we got him next week. So yeah, I think he's definitely missing this week. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Be like, yeah, I'm not happy. Yes, yes, yes. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
another player, I'll probably check on the injury list for the Giants when I throw it to you. But Josh Kelly didn't play last week, so I don't know if
No,
that
no.
is. I don't know if he's been. I mean, I would assume he's obviously injured.
Mm.
So I'll check that when I throw it to you. But yeah, I mean, if Callahan's out, now their midfield probably gets a little bit shallow because they've got Green, they've got Bedford, no one else really. I know. I mean, I know that McMillan, Toby McMillan, Daft Boy,
Tobes.
Tobes. They've got a few Tobys actually. No,
Yeah,
they
they
don't.
do.
Oh yeah. Wait, they've got three or four.
A lot
Three.
of greens and a lot of Tobies.
Yeah, but I'll throw it straight to you, mate, because I'm fucking rambling on and I need to stop it. Who is your midfield opposition watch for the GWS Giants?
I'm going to go with Tom Green.
Like it.
Tom Green he is underrated. He is criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Tom Green. And that Geelong game when he kicked that goal from about 60 meters on the boundary, that just told the story of he is a star of this competition. I think he is a star of this competition. Has not been rated enough externally. I'd imagine he is rated internally at the Giants. I don't think they would be not talking about his efforts and his grunt and his skill. But yeah, he's one of those guys. But every single game we play against the Giants, I feel like Cripper has had the wood over him. And I feel like they're very alike players.
Yes.
So there's always that kind of like everyone goes, oh, that's a good matchup. Those two going head to head. So yeah, I'm not saying Tom Green won't have a good game, but I know Cripper's had the kind of wood over him in the past, and I hope he does this week because it'll go a long way to us winning this game.
Yep, no, completely agree, Daft Boy. And I'm looking at the injury list now, and Stephen Canelio is due to be back this week if he was to play. So with a glute injury.
Oh,
So
Canelio. Yeah.
yeah, Canelio with a glute injury, Daffy Boy, which is a bit of
Yeah.
a
Okay.
interesting injury. We don't usually see that on the injury list, Daffy Boy, dare I say it. But yeah, I mean, Josh Kelly's not anywhere near the team because he's 3 weeks away with a hip injury. So
Mm.
that's quite unfortunate from a Giants point of view. But I mean, as we say, I think they've got enough players to come in and play a role.
Yeah.
So I think I probably want to go Tom Green, but I want to try and go someone different. So I'll have a look at the lineup to an extent. You know what? I'll go Toby Bedford
Yeah. I
for
like
a
him.
bit of a different reason, and we will touch on it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Who he tags.
Walsh.
So last week it seemed like he went to Andrew Brayshaw for most of the game, if not all the game. But
Mm.
Brayshaw found a way to break through the
Yeah.
tackles. I think he still ended up with 30 disposals or something.
Mm-hmm.
I need to check that as soon as I throw to you. But yeah, I'll go with Bedford. I don't think he's necessarily a threat for the Giants, like from a like offensive point of view, but more for a defensive point of view and how they can
Mm.
stop one of our players. So who do you think Toby Bedford would go to if he was to go to anyone?
I'd imagine Walsh. I think Hewitt is too big. Could be Cripps here and there,
Cripps, I think
maybe.
Cripps.
But yeah, no, I really like Toby Bedford because he's got that pace as well. He kind of suits their style when he gets the ball. I always forget it. Well, he was at Melbourne, and
Yeah.
wasn't getting a game, which was weird. And he was playing that kind of small forward role, which he probably can because he's got that zippy. He can kick goals. But yeah, like you said, he's predominantly been focused on his defensive game the last few years, which is interesting because I still think he's part of his game, which is offense, is really good. I think he's got that pace. So yeah, I think you go to Walsh. I'm hoping Walsh shifts to a wing, especially if Binns is out. Put Walsh, Akers on the wing, Doc through there, maybe a Will White through there, just different guys through there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really like that call Patto with Bedford.
Yeah. And then let's now throw to the forward line opposition watch, Daffy Boy. Probably not a lot of options as there are usually for the back line and the midfield for the Giants, but your forward line opposition watch, I think there's one, maybe two main guys down there with Hogan and Green. But who are you going with for your watch?
I'll be going with Toby Green. In the past, we've done a job on him. I think Newman's done a job on him. Boyd was on him last year. So now who takes the step up and goes, I'm going to take Toby Green? Is it Haynes? Is it McGovern?
Mm,
I'm eyeing off one of those. I'm not sure he goes Sard. I think Sard probably goes to more of this. I don't know. Maybe it is Sard. It depends how tall they go ahead of the ball. But yeah, Toby Green, it's his 250th. I really like Toby. He cops his fair share for his on-field actions, and it's probably fair enough most of the time. But I think he cops it a little bit too much. I think he's a star of the competition. I really like the way he goes about it, kicks his goals, leads them pretty well. So yeah, it's just who do you think matches up on him? Who would be your ideal matchup of the players available?
I definitely would go Nick Haynes at this
Yeah.
point because I think Sard can probably take a Darcy Jones because I
Yes.
know that Jones
Yes.
is very good
Yes. Love it.
in that forward line, and he can even he might actually play more mid minutes as well. And then I know that Callum Ward as well is on the wing, so he can even take that mid minutes and then
Mm.
opens up an avenue for Darcy Jones. But I know that if Canelio does play, he's been playing more forward. But
Forward. Yep.
I think you probably have to play midfield at this point
Yeah.
because they really don't have a lot of options there. Now that Callahan is out and Cully is obviously out as well. So yeah, I'll probably put Haynes onto Green at the moment and
Mm.
probably Sard onto Jones. But before I throw to my forward line opposition watch, is there anything you want to touch on about that?
No, I like it. I really love that, especially with Darcy Jones, with Sard. The good thing about it is Darcy Jones seems to find his way high up the ground. I
Yes.
want Adam Sard higher up the ground.
Yes.
So if we do turn the ball over, I want him 60, 70 metres out from goal kicking in rather than getting a handball receive, which we seem to be obsessed about when we win free kicks in the middle. We are so obsessed. We are so I love it, but we even do it when it's not on.
Yeah.
Like it's like they always look. They even Pitternet, he won a free kick in Middle on the weekend. And I know he probably doesn't have a kicking license because he's not the greatest kick, but He literally won the free kick and turned his
Yeah, I
back
know.
to the play. That is just a no-go zone. I don't care who you are. Even if you know you're going to give off the handball, just don't do that because it's just frustrates the fuck out of me. But I love the matchups, Patto. And yeah, Darcy Jones is another one to watch. I know that's we don't pick two players, but he's dangerous and he had a good game on the weekend, even though they struggled. He seems to have good
Yes.
games and he's just that whippety little like Durden size player.
Yeah, completely agree, Daft Boy. But yeah, I completely agree about Pitto, and it's like
Yeah.
you literally don't even know that you've got like Harry Mackay forward in a one-on-one. Like Pitto, all you need to do is just chuck it on the boot, mate. Just hack it forward. I don't even
Yeah.
mind if it's a
Yeah.
hack, because if it's Harry one-on-one, I don't
Mm.
mind because you can like that's a very good chance that he's going to win that contest. But
Yeah.
like you probably handball that ball off, and you're probably looking to be like, where the fuck is Jordan Boyd to hand the ball off, or
Yeah.
whoever,
Yeah.
Sardi, Hollands as well. But that then gives Sydney enough time to get back, and that's probably what will happen on the weekend with the Giants as well. They're so defensively sound
Yeah.
that you can't afford to just wait for Taylor and Iden and Himmelberg and Buckley all to get back, and then as
100%.
soon as all those guys get back,
That's too
Whitfield and
hard.
Ash have time to get back. They win the ball back, handball it off. Ash and Whitfield are off, rebounding
Yeah.
off the defensive 50. And I completely agree about what you said about Sard as well, going to Jones. If Jones goes up the ground,
Go with him.
Sard can go with him. Because if he goes up, I want Sard to be that guy kicking it inside forward 50. I feel like if I was to check his heat map and see where he actually gets the footy,
D50.
it's always defensive 50, isn't it?
Mm.
And it's like, I would rather him be probably around that sort of like the end of the box where our defensive ball starts, probably to the front of our box. That center square box, I want him to be in that range. And obviously he's going to be getting
Of course.
ball in the defensive 50, but the majority, I want him to be driving the footy forward because he's one of those guys that can lace out Mackay on the tit.
Yes.
And Curnow on the tit as well. So
Yeah.
I think we need to change something, and I don't know how much we can change in a week, but there needs to be some changes.
Yeah, I think in terms of that point, without Nick Newman, it's hurt Sard's ball movement. I think it's because I think we're almost forced to play him a little bit more defensively now without Newman. And you know, maybe do we throw the trust to Carroll? Do we throw the trust to other players to sit back in D50? I'm not sure what direction they'll go, but I agree with where I want him in the center square, getting the ball. I want him in D50, of course, when he's defending, but majority, like you said, get it in, hit the money spot 20 meters out. If Harry doesn't mark it, he does not get outmarked. So it will be on the ground. I don't care who fucking picks it up. Could be Cripps, could be Walsh, could be fucking Lewis Young, for all I care. Just give us opportunity. More opportunities. Keep banging on the door. And I mean good opportunities. Not 35 meter, 45 meter out hacks. You know, when you hack it to 40 meters, and then, like you said, Ash, Whitfield, Iden, Himmelberg, just rebound because it's so easy. Not even a full kick would get out from 40 meters out. If you get it 15 meters out, it is so hard for them to score the other way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. When I look at their backline, I feel like it's actually quite similar to ours with the way they structure.
Yes.
Because I think Himmelberg's kind of our McGovern.
Yep.
Taylor is our Wiedering.
Yeah.
Buckley's probably our Silvani.
Sauce, yep.
Iden's probably our Haynes. And then probably Whitfield's our Sard. Ash is probably our Ollie Hollands. It's actually, I kind of look at it, I'm like, oh, it's actually quite a good backline. Maybe that's why our backline's quite good. But I'll touch on my forward line opposition watch, mate. And it's quite, I wanted to go Green, but I think the other name down there, and I think he is probably the bigger threat. Not just his size, but also just in terms of what he can do on the field, and it's Jesse Hogan. He kicked 7 a few weeks ago, if not maybe even 2 weeks ago. I know that he was a little bit more quiet on the weekend, but yeah, I just think he is such a freak. He's such a good forward, and when he's so exciting to watch as well. And I like watching him play when he's not playing against Carlton, but when he's playing against Carlton, I just hope that he's absolutely locked out of the game. So we were touching it before the episode started, but before we do touch on our predictions, who do you think would go to Hogan?
Waitering.
100%? Because if Young So if Young goes back and replaces Silvani, do you reckon there's any chance that Young could take Hogan?
He can. He played well on him last year because Wiedering didn't play in that game, the first one. Excuse me. So I think Young takes
Probably Brown, Cadman.
Riccardi, Brown, or Cadman. Yeah, probably Brown. I think him and Lewis Young probably cancel each other out. No, not in that. Not in, you know. I just think that'd be I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely Wiedering to Hogan.
Yeah. I think I 100% want Hogan to go to Wiedering to go to Hogan, but I just thought I'd ask in terms of the size. But Young could even play as that. Young could even play forward. We actually
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's the great thing with heading into this week. We know that Haynes can play as that second tall and replace Silvani, and that means that Wiedering can play as that main tall, obviously, and Young can just be that sort of decoy, as you've mentioned a few times the past few weeks. So who knows, mate? But we're now going to move on to the match predictions, that boy. Now, to the people who don't know what we do for the predictions, we go through best on ground, well, bag of the game, which is obviously
Yep.
the best on ground from a Carlton point of view. Point of difference, quite self-explanatory, and winner plus margin Daffy boy. So I'll throw straight to you for your match predictions. Bag of the game, point of difference, winner plus margin. What have you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go through these quick because I've got them right in my head. They're in my head. Sam Walsh, best on. It's a little bit off on the weekend. Chucking back on the wing, under the roof, hitting targets left, right, and centre. It'll be Samuel Walsh. Point of difference, TDK will prove why he is the point of difference in this
Like it.
team. He will absolutely destroy Briggs. He will. I don't want to jinx it, but he will play really well on the weekend. I think if he plays, if he doesn't play, I want Pitternet drop still. I want Pitternet drop still. Put Lewis Young in the ruck
Wow.
and Harry as a second ruck. Harry is start. His craft in the ruck has improved tenfold.
Good.
It is really, really good to see because at his height, he's a ruckman height. So, yeah, that's my point of difference and winner plus margin. I said it before. We've been kicking ourselves in these games. We've been kicking ourselves out of these games when we've had the control. I think most of the season we've been up at half time. So that just shows you
Yeah.
that we are doing a lot right. We're doing a lot right. I think defensively, we're holding out teams. Offensively, we're just picking and choosing the games. We really, it's just we're spoken about it. It's just frustrating. Carlton are going to win this game.
Wow.
Carlton are going to win this game. I think the Giants are really on the ropes at the moment, and I think we can get them. I know they've got their skippers 250th. I feel like, those teams seem to get up. He's probably their best ever player in the history of their club. So Carlton win. Carlton are going to win by 7 points at Marvel Stadium. I think both teams are on the brink of this in this season. I'm not saying if we lose, it's over, but it's going to be pretty fucking hard if we lose this game. And if they lose this game, they're going to be on the back foot. They're going to get to that position we're in at the moment, I think. Being a game out of the 8 or whatever position they'd be if they lost this game. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a neck and neck. I think it's going to be a really good game of footy.
Yeah.
I think both teams are going to go, we need to win this fucking game. And I think we're going to come away with it. And it's going to be one of those games where you go, okay, we can just sit on that game, have the week off, which I think all of us need as a supporter base at the moment. we need a week off from a game, just sit down, just relax. And then you head into Essendon, which is a good break because it's a Sunday as well. So
Yeah, it is.
we'll have the next, does Charlie need a break with his body? Does whoever need a break with his body, they will get that break after this week. So I think they'll go incredibly hard on Saturday. They won't be managing anyone.
Yep. Love it. Love it. I think you already know who my winner plus margin is going to be, but we'll start on with the best on ground bag of the game. And I've been calling for it for a few weeks now. he needs to lift. I don't think he needs to lift a hell of a lot, but he needs to have that performance that we know that he's capable of. And it's Patrick Cripps.
Yeah, he was good on the way. He was good on the weekend.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I mean, he was good, but he wasn't the Patrick Cripps
Yeah.
of that we know that he can deliver. And I know it's bad that we have to now rely on Cripps once again, but I just want him to just dominate that midfield. And I think he can. I think under the dome at Marvel, I think it's well and truly a game that Cripps can just dominate in. And I'm hoping that he can be the bagger of the game.
Yep.
Put a difference. It's one of our returns this week. It's not Tom DeConning. I'm going to go with Blake Acres.
Yes.
On the wing.
Yes.
He's needs to be that guy that we know he can be of the defensive running, but also literally 20 seconds later, he's in the forward line taking a mark. So I want him to be that point of difference, and I think he will be come Saturday, 12:30 a.m. PM. Why did I say a.m.? Fucking hell.
That'd be an early start.
Unless it's midnight, David Boy. Winner plus margin. Giants by 4 points.
Oh, no.
Hold
on. I have a feeling. This is my thinking with your tipping. I think when you tip
reverse psychology.
I think when you tip against us, we win. So if we win this weekend, I think we have to make a deal. I think you have to tip against us every weekend.
Fuck. So what happens if we make the granny?
If we make the granny, gee, it would be a fucking...
If we make a granny, we're getting a company car.
There we go. All thanks to you subscribers. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah. No, there's something about your tipping. I feel like I've noticed a pattern.
Oh, shit.
Noticed a pattern kind of... And if we win this weekend, then the pattern is Pattinson.
What? Yeah.
There you go.
Pardon the pun. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Well, I don't really know if I want to be like that now. It'd be like, oh, yeah, I really think we're going to dominate this game. We're going to absolutely kill it. West Coast by 2 points.
That sounds like a very Carlton game, to be honest. Dominate the game and still lose.
No. I'm not. And it's the expectations of, all right,
yep.
If we go in and lose, oh, well, just move on. I mean, obviously, it's not.
No,
I'll be very, very frustrated.
Yeah.
But I am more looking at it as no expectations, but if we win, I feel like I'll enjoy it more. Yeah. I feel like if we lose, I won't be as like fucking frustrated.
You don't want to hurt yourself too much.
Yeah. So Giants by 4 points, but just quietly, I very much agree with your tipping, Daffy Boy. And just to kind of spoil it, I will be tipping Carlton on my AFL tip, as I always do. But before we wrap up the episode, Daffy Boy, is there anything else you would like to touch on before we head towards the Giants this Saturday, 12:30?
No, I think we've covered a lot, whether from game plan, tactics, all sorts of stuff this episode. So, 12:30. Don't sleep in, Blues fans. I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I like the early start.
Get the game going. Just get the game going. No waste of fucking time. We'll both be at the game on the weekend. I'll be working, so I'll be obviously working my ass. I'll just be sitting there watching the game in full nuff mode. So don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. I'll be tuning in every single second of the game, and hopefully I'll be in the Carlton rooms when we win, Patto.
Yeah, well, this is the first game that I've been able to go to in a while. So I'm hoping I'm not the bad karma.
Yeah, I think we've got enough bad karma, to be honest. And I think it'll be your fault.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
The last game I went to was the Pies game.
Oh, jeez.
That's actually, that's scary. Because that was the last time that we were kind of like,
oh,
shit.
No.
Oh, boy.
Maybe need a sense, give away your ticket.
I might need to call work and say, yeah, I'm actually available now.
I'm available. Why are you available now? I don't want to curse us.
Oh, shit.
Jeez.
But, I'm actually a little bit nervous about it. And we'll find out more on Saturday. But I'm just fucking praying that we get the job done. And as you said, head into this bye with a bit of confidence. And then heading into Essendon.
Yes.
The week after West Coast, then North.
Yes.
Then Power.
Yes.
Not looking week by week.
It's got the 2023 smell.
Yep. And we love going week by week.
We beat Gold Coast before the bye.
Yeah.
Yep. Easy kill. I know this weekend's on an easy kill. It's a different situation. But then you get into the bye, get a few bodies back, and then you hit the second half. It's still a long time. Still a long time. So I don't want to let it slip this weekend.
We love going week by week, Deaf Boy, but I don't know about you, but I'm buying my grand final tickets to get the. Oh wait, no, I bought my grand final tickets fucking after we beat West Coast, mate.
Oh.
Hang on. Yeah, but to every single blue bagger out there, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we would just
Yep.
say it again, as well when we mentioned at the start of the episode about how make sure to reach out to us if there is anything that is going on. We are well and truly
Yeah.
here, Duff and I. And as Duff said, whether our personal
Sure.
accounts as well, make sure to reach out if you do want a chat because we're 100% available. But also, our podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music as well. There's a few others out there, Duff Boy, that you can check out if you want to listen to the audio version. But also check out our socials, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X as well, LinkedIn that we need to try and update a little bit more, David Boy. There's a few others out there. But to you, Duffy Boy, get the fucking job done.
Yep.
That's all I ask. And to every single blue bagger out there. The baggers.